Hi guys, Alexandra here again. Today I'm back with a review of Snagit. Now, Snagit can be used in two situations: if you want to take screenshots or for recording videos of you screen sharing. I first found this tool because I needed something to essentially take complete screenshots of entire web pages, newsletters. Now I will link my tutorial for that in the description down below. And let's just see some of the essential ways in which you can use Snagit. Now, my favorite is for image. It's really simple. You have a bunch of options. The easiest one is to click on capture, and then you can, for instance, select a specific part of your screen, and you will be taken to this editor, which is the reason why I believe it is worth paying for Snagit, because otherwise, if this were a simple screenshot taking tool, it wouldn't have been worth it. Just as a quick reminder, the team behind Snagit is also responsible for creating Camtasia. You might be familiar with this screen recording tool. But with Snagit, the thing is that you have 15 days of free trial, and after these 15 days, you can ask for another 15 so you can test it some more. You will get the most common editing options at the top here, or you can go to image and tools. And you have here, or just here, the simple arrows, any kind of arrows you want to use to point to certain elements. And of course, for all of these elements, you will have a bunch of options to edit them. Then you have simple text. You have a bunch of options here as well. Just type in your text and then work with, maybe if you want the outline to have a different color or anything like that. Notice that if I move an element with the move tool, I can move it outside of the image and just add on some more text elements at this side. Of course, you have callouts, which can be used maybe if you want to bring some attention to a specific element. Then you have the shape tool, which is useful in case you want to highlight some sections such as this. Then you have, these are very useful, the stamps. Here you have a bunch of categories, including business. And among the others, you will find the interface one useful because you can add actionable stamps such as this one, obviously work with them. I'm making this larger and it just looks like you want to select the image. You have the magnifier as well if you want to put some emphasis on specific elements in your screenshot. This same magnifier tool is available from here. And of course, you have a lot of options, including the zoom you want to add for your magnification. For example, this is the usual one with no zoom. And then if I go just jump it up a bit, I'm going to start having some zoom. And just compare this to having it larger when it's really just not as easy to understand what you want to highlight. Now, other interesting things in the tools section is the blur. And I like the blur because you have a lot of options. I mean, compare this simple one to this blur and just this one. Really, you have a lot of options to go for depending on your own needs. You can always go to more at the top if you want some other tools, such as the simplify option, which I like again. This is really if you want to replace text with just a bunch of lines, or instead of an image, you can opt for this. And you're basically transforming this into a wireframe. Then there's the cutout option, which is useful in case you want to really divide an image into two, and it will leave the background transparent. And honestly, there's just a lot of options here. You can go for something really subtle or delete entire sections. Of course, you have your basic pen tool, the line tool, and the highlighter, which I like. And you're just going to simply use it like this. I recommend using the same color within an image. Then another tool I like is the step icons, because once you select a style, you can just click on all of the items and the counting is done automatically, and you can have just a bunch of steps. Of course, you also have your eraser, but what this does is just delete literally everything you have on your screenshot, so not sure how useful that is. I also like going to selection. You can just copy this, click on Control or Command C, then Control Command V, and you just essentially copy your element. Now this is useful if you have maybe just, let's say, this background color. You want to copy it, paste it. I'm just gonna move it like this, enlarge it a bit, and then I am moving this so that it's smaller, make it fit. And really I have expanded my screenshot so I can fit in here some more elements that I want. You also have the effects, which are kind of useful. However, most styles are outdated. The reason you might want to use this is because you might need an effect like this one where the bottom is faded. If your workspace does become too cluttered and you want to start it all over again, just go to Edit and revert to Original. And again, here you will have the effects depending on your own needs. You also have this page curl, some filters, color adjustments in case you have some images you want to tweak in that screenshot. However, honestly, from these effects, besides these color adjustments and maybe the watermark option, if you want to keep a clean design, you will only need this faded effect sometimes, depending on the image you want to publish. Now, these are just some of the options that Snagit provides for the images. Of course, you also have other settings such as for sharing, for viewing, where maybe you want a pixel grid in the background, or maybe you want to change the background color, not of the image, of the workspace essentially. Of course, many of those settings can be selected from the very beginning if you want that. You can also opt for the exact region. For example, if you want a full screenshot, you will just click on capture and the image is automatically placed here. Then you have the video option in case you want to record a specific part of your screen and film it, not just take a screenshot of it. And you're basically doing some actions here, then finish this, and you will be able to edit this video. However, the options for editing videos are very limited, so that you can get a look at how their other tool would work. So if you want a screen sharing tool rather than just something for taking screenshots, you need to go to Camtasia. Now, honestly, this is about all that's vital about Snagit. What I do recommend is that you test it first for at least 1 month. Then you will be able to get that 10% discount after the second trial. But it's definitely a tool that you should only pay for if you have to take images, screenshots, and edit them on a regular basis. That's like daily. Otherwise, you can just stick to other options. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment below, and stay safe so we can see each other in the next tutorial. Have a wonderful day.